Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Ram Ram Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna
Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes Guru Maharaj and Sri Prabhupada. Rasal Krishna Prabhuji, whenever you're ready, you can start with prayers, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Naratam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayat Udret Snavatam Svakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridayantayastu Abhadrani Vidunati Sursatam Naste Prayasha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavate Sevaya Bhagavati Utam Sloke Bhaktir Bhagavati Neshtaki. Okay, so reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 19, verses 27 through 40, text 27. Prabhu, am I coming in clearly? Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhu, your voice is clear,
Okay.
Prabhu. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you. Thank you.
His text 27. His collarbone was fleshy, his chest broad and thick, his navel deep, and his abdomen beautifully striped. His arms were long, and curly hair was strewn over his beautiful face. He was naked, and the hue of his body reflected that of Lord Krishna. 28. He was blackish and very beautiful due to his youth. Because of the glamour of his body and his attractive smiles, he was pleasing to women. Though he tried to cover his natural glories, the great sages present there were all expert in the art of physiognomy, and so they honored him by rising from their seats. 29. Maharaj Parikshit, who's also known as Vishnu Rata, one who's always protected by Vishnu, bowed his head to receive the chief guest, Sukadev Goswami. At that time, all the ignorant women and boys ceased following Srila Sukadeva. Receiving respect from all, Sukadev Goswami took his exalted seat. 30. Sukadev Goswami was then surrounded by saintly sages and demigods, just as the moon is surrounded by stars, planets, and other heavenly bodies. His presence was gorgeous and he was respected by all. 31. The sage Sukadev Goswami sat perfectly pacified, intelligent, and ready to answer any question without hesitation. The great devotee, Maharaj Parikshit, approached him, offered his respects by bowing before him, and politely inquired with sweet words and folded hands. 32. The fortunate King Parikshit said, O Brahmana, by your mercy only, you have sanctified us, making us like unto places of pilgrimage, all by your presence here as my guest. By your mercy, we, who are but unworthy royalty, become eligible to serve their devotee. 33. Simply by our remembering you, our houses become instantly sanctified. And what to speak of seeing you, touching you, washing your holy feet, offering you a seat in our home. 34. Just as the atheist cannot remain in the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so also the invulnerable sins of a man are immediately vanquished in your presence, O saint, O great mystic. 35. Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is very dear to the sons of King Pandu, has accepted me as one of those relatives just to please his great cousins and brothers. 36. Otherwise, without being inspired by Lord Krishna, how is it that you have voluntarily appeared here, though you are moving incognito to the common man and are not visible to us who are on the verge of death? 37. You are the spiritual master of great saints and devotees. I am therefore begging you to show the way of perfection for all persons, and especially for one who is about to die. 38. Please let me know what a man should hear, chant, remember, and worship, and also what he should not do. Please explain all this to me. 39. O powerful Brahmana, it is said that you hardly stay in the houses of men long enough to milk a cow. 40. Sri Sutta Goswami said, the king thus spoke and questioned the sage using sweet language. Then the great and powerful personality, the son of Vyasadeva, who knew the principles of religion, began his reply. Thus concludes Canto 1, Chapter 19 of Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rasal Krishna Prabhuji. Krishna Prabhuji, whenever you're ready, you can start, Prabhuji.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 19, the title, The Appearance of Sukadeva Goswami, from the slokas 27 to 40. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Gnanjanasalakaya Chaksharonmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschapta Deshtaran Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gauravaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you all for giving this opportunity. Thank you, Rasal Krishna Prabhu, for reading the slokas and translation. So just to give a background, so in this chapter so far, we see that so Maharaj Parikshit from the forest, while he is coming back to his home, so he was repenting the mistake that he has done to that Brahmana, Samika Mahamuni, where he placed the dead snake around the neck of that Brahmana, the sage. Then as he was going to the home, so he heard that the Brahmana boy, Shringi, he cursed the king to die in 7 days by the bite of Takshaka snake bird. So then Maharaj Parikshit took that as the will of Krishna, and he renounced the kingdom. At that time, Sukadeva Goswami arrived. So now we see Sutta Goswami is describing the bodily features of Sukadeva Goswami. So that's continuing today also. So in the text 27, so we see that the bodily features of Sukadeva Goswami are continuing. So like his collarbone was fleshy, his chest is broad and thick, and his navel is deep, and he has a curly hair, his arms were long, and he has a beautiful face, and his who of his body reflected that of Lord Krishna. And Prabhupada mentions in the purport that based on the bodily features, one can be estimated how great that person is. So that's called physiognomical calculations. So and here the bodily descriptions of Sukadeva Goswami indicates that is a great personality. And then in text 28 also, those descriptions are continuing. Like he was a blackish, very beautiful, and his glamour of his body and his attractive smiles. So they were very pleasing. And here we see that, Sukadeva Goswami, though he is trying to cover his natural glories, but the saintly personalities, the great sages that were present in that assembly, they could understand he's a great personality because they're all very expert in the art of physiognomy. So where one can looking at the bodily features, they can understand how that person is great like that. So they honored him by rising from their seats. So we see that, first the one is the great devotees. Generally, they try to cover their natural glories, but of course, that's due to their humbleness. But because of their deep devotion to Krishna, so automatically people will recognize as soon as they see it. So here also the great sages that were present, they could understand the exalted position of Sukadeva Goswami. So because of that, they honored him by raising from their seats. So Prabhupada mentions in the next sloka that when Sukadeva Goswami appeared on the scene, so except Srila Vyasadeva, Narada Muni, and few other exalted personalities, but all other sages, they stood up and honored him. Because Vyasadeva is his father and also Guru, and Narada Muni is the Guru of Srila Vyasadeva, so he's a Parama Guru. And Prabhupada mentions, in fact, Sukadeva Goswami offers his humble obeisances to his father Vyasadeva and Narada Muni, like that. So in the text 29, we see that Maharaj Parikshit is addressed as the Vishnu Rata, because he was protected by Lord Vishnu. So he bowed his head to receive this chief guest, Sukadeva Goswami. And at that time, the ignorant women or the boys who were following Sukadeva Goswami, so they all went away. And then Sukadeva Goswami took all his exalted seat. So one thing we see here, Maharaj Vishnu, Parikshit Maharaj is addressed as Vishnu Rata because he was protected by Lord Vishnu. When Aswadhama, the son of Dronacharya, when he sent the powerful Brahmastra, then Lord Krishna, as the Lord Vishnu, he protected Maharaj Parikshit when Maharaj Parikshit is in the womb of his mother, Uttara. And Maharaj Parikshit, we see that is very happy to receive this great saintly personality. So he bowed his head and gave a great respect to the Supreme Person, Srila Sukadeva Goswami. And until that time, this some of the ignorant women and boys were following because they are thinking that he's a madman. But as soon as the emperor Maharaj Parikshit, when he himself bowed down to receive this great exalted personality, Sukadeva Goswami, then they were all struck with wonder and then fearful, and then they all went away. And we also see how anxious and how respectable Maharaj Parikshit receiving a Vaishnava. So this is one of the instruction I'm talking to myself to follow it. And then in the text 30, we see that Sukadeva Goswami, then surrounded by the saintly sages, looks like a demigods. He looks like a moon surrounded by the stars, planets, and other heavenly bodies. So his presence was gorgeous and he was respected by all. And Prabhupada mentions in the purport that the devotee of the Lord is honored in this world more than the Lord himself. So that's the standard. So that's why Prabhupada stresses that one should never minimize the importance of the devotee, especially the great saintly personalities like Srila Sukadeva Goswami, like that. So even Lord Shiva mentions in Padma Purana that like Aradhananam Sarvesham Vishnu Aradhanam Param. Like out of all the worships, so the worship of Lord Vishnu is very best. But better than that is the worshipping the devotees of Lord Vishnu. So like Vaishnavas. So he stresses here the importance of giving respect and honor to the Vaishnavas. So that is one thing that we see from this sloka. And text 31, we see that Sukadeva Goswami, he was perfectly pacified, intelligent, and ready to answer any questions. So these are all some of the qualities that are mentioned by in this sloka of a guru, bona fide guru, or Srila Sukadeva Goswami. Like he's a perfectly pacified, prashantam. That's a word that mentioned in the sloka. And then he is intelligent, Medasam, and is ready to answer any questions without hesitation. So Akunta, that's a word mentioned. The similar statement is also mentioned in other scriptures like Tadvignanardam Sagurum Eva Bigachata. So one should approach a bona fide spiritual master, but what is his qualities? Like, his Stotriam and Brahmanistam. Stotriam means he is very knowledgeable. So of the Shastras. So he knows the Shastras. And not only that, because he is not only the knowledgeable in the Shastras, but he applies in his day-to-day life. So that's why he's Brahmanistam. So he's fixed in Krishna consciousness. So fully surrendered to the Supreme Lord Krishna. So that's qualities, some of the qualities that are mentioned here of Srila Sukadeva Goswami. And then we see as a disciple, Maharaj Parikshit. So how he approached, he approached him, he offered his respect, bowing before him, and then he politely inquired with sweet words and folded hands. So these are some of the qualities that are mentioned of Maharaj Parikshit as a perfect disciple. So as a sadhaka, we should also try to develop these qualities are adequate like that. Krishna also mentions in Bhagavad Gita, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadyakshantam te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. Like, when one is trying to approach a bona fide spiritual master, they should inquire from him submissively, not in a challenging or argument mode. And not only that, sevaya. So he has to serve the spiritual master. Then the bona fide guru, who is a self-realized personality, he can impart the knowledge to the disciple who surrendered him. Then in the text 32, we see that Parikshit Maharaj saying to Srila Sukadeva Goswami that so by your mercy you sanctified us, and not only that, making us like unto the places of pilgrimage, just by your presence. That's all by his presence. And not only that, unworthy royalty became eligible to serve the devotees. So the powerful bona fide spiritual master, he will make the unworthy disciple to be qualified or to be eligible to serve the devotees. And Prabhupada mentions that wherever the great saintly personalities goes, and that place becomes pilgrimage, because they carry Krishna with them. And these great saintly people will make the general people to be qualified, so to take up the process of Krishna consciousness. Like we see from the life of Srila Prabhupada, like by his mercy, so many hippies became eligible to serve the devotees or to become great and wonderful devotees. Like one time, one of the disciples asked, like, what kind of qualification they have to take up this Krishna consciousness so sincerely and seriously. And Prabhupada mentions that you don't have a qualification, but I created that qualification. So that is the mercy of the bona fide spiritual master or the great saintly personalities. So that's why it is stressed that if we can be in the association of the great saintly personalities, then we also can become eligible to take up the Krishna consciousness or continue our Krishna consciousness sincerely. And then in the text 33, Parikshit Maharaj is saying that just by remembering, the house has become instantly sanctified. And then what to speak of seeing, touching, or washing the holy feet of a great saintly personalities. So these are all very, very helpful for one to be purified. Because when the saintly personalities comes to a person's house, that person's house gets purified automatically. So that's why the devotees, they conduct satsang programs, inviting the devotees to the house. Due to all the devotees coming into the house, they perform kirtan, chanting, and then there is a Krishna Katha. So because of all these things, the house that a person lives, that becomes purified. And automatically all the negative energy or any bad symptoms are there in that house, it will go away. So that is a very powerful process where the lot of positive vibrations will be added in the house, and then it will drive away any negative energy. Not only that, when we do the chanting in the house, so it will not only purify us, but all the surrounding environment wherever we are chanting. So that it will help us to lead our life peaceful. So there is so much benefit of chanting of this holy name, or doing kirtan, or worshipping the Supreme Lord in the house, or reading Krishna Katha. So then text 34, Maharaj Parikshit is saying that how an atheist cannot remain in the presence of the Supreme Lord. So similarly, invulnerable sins of a man immediately vanquish in the presence of a great saintly personality. So this is another great thing. And Prabhupada mentions that in the purport, that there are two classes of men. So one is atheist and one is the devotee. So the devotees of the Lord, because they have the godly qualities, so they are also called as a demigod. But whereas atheist, because he is not connected to the Supreme Lord, so he is called as a demon. And we see that in the presence of Lord Vishnu, these demons cannot be stayed out. They cannot withstand. So similarly, when we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, or in the presence of the devotees, the demonic qualities will go away automatically. So that's a benefit of as we are chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, or reading Krishna Katha, or in the association of the devotees, our demonic qualities will slowly go away. And then text 35, Maharaj Parikshit is saying that the Krishna, who is very dear to the sons of Pandu, King Pandu, like in Pandavas. So he has accepted me as one of those relatives just to please his great cousins and brothers. So to please Pandavas, here Maharaj Parikshit is saying that he accepted me as one of those relatives. So Prabhupada says that, when one becomes a devotee, and Krishna gives a special protection, not only to him, to his family members, and to his descendants also. So even they are non-devotees. So we see from the pastime of Prahlad Maharaj, right? So his demonic father, Hiranyakashipu, he got liberated because of Prahlad Maharaj's deep devotion, because he's a pure devotee. And it is said that, when one becomes a pure devotee, then 21 generations gets liberated. So Trisapta, 21 generations are liberated. And Krishna will give protection to his descendants also. And so just we becoming a devotee. So if you become a devotee, then you are not only protecting yourself, but you are also protecting your family members, your descendants. So that is the greatest service that one can do for their family members and descendants. And here in the next sloka, 36, Maharaj Parikshit is saying that otherwise, means without being inspired by Lord Krishna, how is that Srila Sukadeva Goswami voluntarily appeared here? Because they are with saintly personalities like Sukadeva Goswami's association is very difficult to get it. And especially Maharaj Parikshit is saying that not visible to us who are on the verge of the death. When one is ready, Prabhupada mentions that when one is ready to take up Krishna consciousness sincerely and seriously, then Krishna, as a Chait Guru in the each and everyone's heart, so he will send the external Guru, so the Guru to him, so that he can help, the Guru can help to reach the disciple back to home, so to reach Krishna. So Yasya Prasadat Bhagavat Prasad. So by the mercy of Krishna, one will get a Guru, but by the mercy of the Guru, one will get Krishna. So here also Maharaj Parikshit is saying that certainly by the inspiration of Lord Krishna, Srila Sukadeva Goswami appeared voluntarily here. So before Maharaj Parikshit, so that Srila Sukadeva Goswami can give the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam to Maharaj Parikshit, and Maharaj Parikshit listening that attentively, then go back home, back to Godhead. So we see many examples like another example we see in the life of Dhruva Maharaj. So when Dhruva Maharaj was ready to take up Krishna consciousness or to start the process of bhakti, then Narada Muni appears. So, and then he gives the mantra. So like that. So in the text 37, Maharaj Parikshit is saying that glorifying the Srila Sukadeva Goswami as the spiritual master of great saints and devotees. So that's why he's begging here to show the way of perfection for all persons, especially one who is about to die. Of course, everyone should remember that we don't know how long one can live. So everybody should be in that consciousness that we don't know how much time we have. So we should be in the same position like Maharaj Parikshit, anxiously looking for the spiritual knowledge and apply in our day-to-day life and perfect our life. Of course, I'm talking to myself. So we see like in here how anxious Maharaj Parikshit to make his human life successful. So this is something that a sadhaka should try. Because the human life is very valuable. Durlabhamanava janama satsanga. So on top of that, getting association of the devotees is more rare. So when that is available and when one is connected to the devotees, then one should take advantage of that to make the human life successful. And here in the text 38, Sukadeva Goswami is asking specifically what a man should hear, chant, remember, and worship, and what he should not do. So please explain all this to me. So when we connect to the great personality, then this is what we should inquire, not something related to the material benefits. Like we should understand, or we should try to pose the questions in a humble manner, how it can help our human life to be successful. And then text 39, so Maharaj Parikshit is saying that it is said that you hardly stay in the house of a man long enough to milk a cow. Because these saintly personalities, they don't stay in any householders' houses for a long time. So especially Sukadeva Goswami here mentioned as he will stay long enough to milk a cow. And Prabhupada in the purport he mentions that so these great saintly personalities, they will go to the houses of the householders at the time when they are milking the cows. So early morning. So then they will request as a charity some quantity of milk. So because this milk, little bit of milk, that is sufficient for an adult to lead his life, to keep up his body, because this milk has all the vitamins, whatever the body is required. So the sages comes at that time, and it is the duty of the householder to maintain these saints and sages by providing whatever they require. So that is a charity that that householder should give it. At the same time, householders should be intelligent enough when the saintly personality comes to ask the questions that will help us to situate in transcendental life. So not for some material information, but ask for the transcendental information so that they can take benefit. So that is the reciprocal relation Prabhupada mentions between these great saintly personalities and householders. So as a householder, so that is one of the things that we need to remember ourselves. So whenever there is a exalted devotees are there, or any devotee is there, we should try to discuss with them Krishna Katha. And then in the last sloka, the 40th, so he's saying that Suta Goswami is saying here, when the Sukadeva Goswami heard all the questions of Maharaj Parikshit, then Vasudev, so he started giving reply. So we will see what all these perfect answers of Srila Sukadeva Goswami given to Parikshit Maharaj as a reply to his questions from the next chapter. So this Canto 2 and chapter 1 onwards. So I'll pause it here. Thank you all very much for giving this opportunity. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
Yeah.
Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
thank you so much, Krishna Prabhuji, for a nice class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.